it again.
Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast. Happy Sunday, y'all. Most of all, happy Father's Day. You know, it's a special day because, you know, as black men and then being fathers as well, you don't get the recognition that you deserve. So I want to give a shout out to my bro as a great dad who loves his child, you know what I'm saying? So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, especially my bro and, you know, all the fathers watching. As
Thank
always,
you, appreciate it.
I'm Real Talk Marv. I'm going to have my partner introduce himself.
It's your boy Cliff Brockman.
Yeah, so shout out to Open Shirt Poppy. Happy Father's Day to him. He's, you know, hanging out with the kiddies, doing things like that. Shout out to Greedy Gut. You know, she's taking care of some personal business, but, you know, she should be back on the show soon. So yeah, man, it's just a beautiful Sunday out there, you know, Father's Day. I didn't see no commercials, the same love as Mother's Day, you know what I'm saying? But it's always like that. How do you feel, as a father, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think the media and the media portrays Mother's Day as a bigger holiday than Father's Day. Father's Day, we get the basic stuff, you know, the basic stuff. It's not really a big deal as much as Mother's Day, you know, because mothers are more the nurturer when it comes to being a parent. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't take it personal. I'm just happy to be able to take care of my child and be able to raise her, you know.
Yeah, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Yeah, man. Like, you know, I always see. It's funny because, like, the post you sent me with 50 Cent, where it's just like, you know, you'll see commercials, get your dad a wrench, get your dad a screwdriver. But then for Mother's Day, it's like flowers, candy, jewelry, Zelles, cakes. 50 Cent, like, guys like diamonds too, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. So, you know, we're going to get into the show. Matter of fact, shout out to the Raptors. I told you the Raptors would do it. You know what I'm saying?
You did call it.
And it's funny because I told people the championship was coming out of the East before the playoffs started, and people thought I was crazy. We didn't know the injuries would happen, but it did come out of the East. So shout out to the Raptors. Shout out to everybody in T-Dot who listened to us, you know what I'm saying? You know, hopefully Kawhi stays, but Kawhi looked like he was on a business trip, and now he's going back home. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got the chip. But anyway, we're going to jump into the show. One of my favorite radio personalities, Charlamagne the God, and is actually Little Duval, following the success of his I'm Living My Best Life. He has another single out called Black Men Don't Cheat, featuring Charlamagne the God, and Charlamagne spitting some bars about black men not cheating, which is a great sentiment, right? I wholeheartedly believe that black men don't cheat. No, I'm not going to throw black men under the bus, but, you know, all men cheat, right? Whether you're black or white. But I like the movement of black men don't cheat because it's sort of like putting it into the universe. That's what we're aspiring to. You know what I'm saying? But I thought about the topic, and I was just like, we can have a discussion about it, right? So the new wave of black men don't cheat. And the first sub-question is cheating in the black community something that black men is making a change towards stepping away from? What do you think?
I think black men are making the adjustment as they get older, right? You know, so like guys in their 20s, in the 20s and late 20s, they still feel the need to be like, oh, you know, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just whatever.
I'm out here conquering.
Yeah, when you get more like 30, you reach the 30s, in your 30s, early 40s, and you feel like, you know, you just want to appreciate the person you're with, and you don't even want the drama behind it, because cheating comes with drama. Yeah. It might start off as smooth sailing, and both parties are happy, but the drama is going to hit eventually from somebody. So I think the adjustment that black men are making is saying black men are starting to grow up more, and when they realize their situation or realize this, you know, I just don't want to deal with the drama and the backlash of, I want to respect my relationship. I don't want to have that little side chick and stuff. That's what I think.
I think also it's like we're living in a society in a time where there's receipts, right? So it's just like people are getting screenshots people in your DMs. It's like it's more ways of getting caught out there cheating.
That's a fact.
And it starts to become out, not to be worth it. Also, as an older black, I was calling myself an older black man, but black men of a certain age, you kind of want to be able to like do certain things with having somebody special with you. And like you can't really get really freaky nasty if you out there just running around with different people,
That's a fact.
So that's why I feel like the movement to like be with one person, one special person, is starting to become something that we're shooting for. We have a bad reputation, as black men, just like having multiple families and not being family men. And I feel like we're trying to make a movement towards being great dads and being great husbands and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like it's a movement that we're trying to aspire to. But I know if we had more woman presence on the show today, they would have a different opinion about whether black men out there cheating or not. So what else do you think is the reason why black men are trying to move away from cheating?
Cheating is a lot of work. Cheating is a lot of work. I mean,
it's just like lying, right?
Yeah.
To cover one lie, you got to tell another lie.
You got to keep going. Cheating is a lot of work, and I feel like I said, I think it's more of a maturity thing. Guys more in their I'm not even trying to just stereotype, but guys more in their 20s, they don't find the need to be like, oh, they want to cheat, they want to have their girlfriend, they want to cheat, and then they're like, oh, they have more like, oh, it's all right, whatever, it is what it is. But when you get to that certain age and then you realize the drama that you don't want in your life, and I'm not saying 30 years old or whatever, but I'm saying you more kind of take a step back and say, I want to respect my relationship. I don't even want to put it out there so drama's behind it, And it's tough with social media and all these outlets now. To say that a relationship is 100% committed nowadays, you don't even know. It's so crazy because me and you could leave here today and then hit somebody up or send a nice pics, and now you're in a situation. So I think a lot of the times you got to deal with the age factor of a lot of black men are maturity
growing out of certain
and then you just don't want to.
It's also risk versus reward, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's fun sometimes to maybe have rendezvous with someone else, sleep with someone else, and stuff like that. But then, a man of a certain age is just like it depends the kind of woman you're dealing with. Are you dealing with a woman who's just like is just good for sex kind of thing, and then they're comfortable with that, you're comfortable with that. Then after a while, it feels empty if it's not something that you're really getting something from. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times you realize like what am I out here? I'm out here risking. I'm out here risking it all. Maybe you're out here risking your marriage, but I'm out here, risking your health. You know what I'm saying? So. It
definitely all the things that you just mentioned, and it's big, right? And also, today being Father's Day today, what you call it, a lot of times you cheat or whatever. If you are married or whatever, now you're putting yourself in a situation, right? You went from being a father to now you might see your kid 2 days a week because now you're going through a divorce. So a lot of times I feel like
that's part of the risk, right?
It's the risk.
You risk breaking up your family.
A lot of things, and then also it's one thing about it's just a risk with your family, but it also is just as a whole period, like because one situation could turn into a war. You know what I'm saying? The kids
Also, like if you're married or you're in a situation and you have that thing on the side and you think it's cool and stuff like that, there's an expiration date for that, right? Because a lot of times people aren't happy with the thing on the side because there's a lot of, complications that come with it. It's a lot of concessions you got to give. It's a lot of, I want to see you this weekend. Nah, I'm with wifey. We're going to something. And, it's cool in the beginning, but then after a while, the person is just like, "Yo, what did I sign up for?" You know what I'm saying?
And also that person, you gotta be careful because that person you're just thinking, that's a side chick. She's actually your boss. She could ruin it all.
That's what's the toughest thing to me.
She could ruin it all.
The toughest thing to me.
She or he could ruin it all.
The concept of carrying that person on the side for too long is because it's just like. I know this sounds bad, but as a man dealing with a woman, it's like now you got another person to answer to, another attitude to deal with, another person's like demands, and you're like, yo, I already signed up for one. Now I'm signing up for other drama. So that's more of the risk versus the reward.
Yeah, it's just a dangerous situation. But I think with the song Black Men Don't Cheat, it's more like Charlamagne got caught up in mad situations before.
But he said that he's a recovering cheater.
That's what that
Him
was.
and Envy was like they were recovering cheater.
That was more in their younger days, right? But it gets to a certain point where it's tired. It's a lot of work. So you doing these things. You juggling two people, and that person on the side is always your boss. Because at any time they could turn it up to a new level.
So you feel like the person on the side could eventually extort you.
That person.
That's what. But your person on the side gotta have as much to lose as you do.
But most of the time,
when it's not that situation, it gets dangerous.
Most of the time, it's not. Sometimes people cheat. It's not like both parties have a significant other. It's usually a man is rewarded, or the woman is rewarded of the situation. So and
you also got to be careful. Like I'm gonna use the term alleged. Okay. Our guest is into the building, so I'm gonna give him a chance to sit down. Yeah. So a lot of times, like I said, I was gonna use the term allegedly because what happened to Big Papi? Allegedly, Big Papi got. It's crazy, right? Allegedly in DR, Big Papi was supposed to be messing with a drug dealer's girlfriend. And then the drug dealer found out. And for 8 racks, this guy is worth like $100 million. But for 8 racks, he almost got his life taken care of, right? And we don't have confirmation, so everything I'm saying is allegedly, right? So, but just think about the risk. You out here, you worth millions, and someone almost blew your head off for 8 racks. You almost lost everything. That's why, black men got to learn to decide whether or not, it's risky to be out here cheating and stuff like that, So, you know what I'm saying? So, Phil, I'm going to catch you up. I'm going to give my guest, once he's set up, to introduce himself. And then we'll jump back into the show. The topic we're currently talking about is the new wave of black men not cheating. But we're going to give you a quick second to introduce yourself and let them know what you got going on.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Yeah, my fault,
That's all good. That's good.
But my name is Phil Murphy, director, author, entertainer. Been dropping series left and right, books left and right. So and just continue to keep performing and stuff like that.
Okay, nice. Mm-hmm. Let them know about what your book's about. If you have music, what your music's about, the series you're dropping. Give them a little.
All right, so pretty much, when I was younger, I was one of the top basketball players.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting shot with an AK-47.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. So that's what everything is about. So the films, the music, the books, they all tie in, just to tell my story, but from different angles.
Yeah.
So some people might not like the book. Some people might want to see the film. Some people might want to hear the music. So I just try to give everybody, a piece of me. You feel me?
I knew, you and Cliff, same age group, so I knew about you as a ball player. I did not know the AK-47 situation.
Yeah.
Do you mind expanding upon that? Like, what you feel comfortable talking about?
For sure.
What happened and how did that go about? And, I'm glad to see you still with us, so that's a good thing.
Definitely blessed for sure.
Yeah.
But, it was after my freshman year in college.
Okay.
I came home to visit. My coaches actually didn't even want me to come home because they knew like the people I was around wasn't really the best fit for me.
Yeah.
So, me being, just glad to be done with my first year, just to show people that I'm out here still doing it. Mm-hmm. It was prom night for the high schoolers, so, everybody wanted to go out, turn up.
Yeah.
I was invited to go to Seaside Heights in New Jersey.
Okay.
But I told them I'll meet them in the morning so I can go hang out with everybody. So I was in the clubs, 18, 19-year-old in the club, 21 and up club. So it's like, that's already a bad mixture right there. Yeah. And then, one thing led to another. And then it was was a big brawl outside, and then everybody's, parting ways. So I'm spending the night at my friend's house. So we actually walk into his house, and then the person that people had beef with lived literally across the street. So they was dropping him off, and then somebody, I guess, they seen us walking down the block. So one dude that was in the car just started shooting up the block crazy, and then wow. I got hit one time, but it was like Forrest Gump though.
Okay.
It went through my butt, through my stomach, and then it grazed my hand. So like my thumb was hanging off. I was in the hospital for 2 months, ICU for a month. And
did that derail your basketball career?
It actually, I received nerve damage in my left foot, so I couldn't move my ankle or my toes at all. But it actually, because I went to Texas Tech. I didn't tell you that part. I went to Texas Tech University.
Yeah.
So, me trying to talk to the players about, like, how to do better, they wasn't really taking me too serious because I'm just there talking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like I needed to show them, because that's the only way people going to listen is if you show them that you're ill, you feel me? Yeah. So I just got better, because I lost all muscles in my body. I was like 215 when I got shot, came out the hospital 160. Wow. So, me trying to, I just was trying to get better and stuff just to show these cats, like, let's grow, you feel me? Yeah. So I started dribbling between my legs for the first time. It took me 5 years to run again, but it got to the point where I received another scholarship to play ball again, just from playing ball at the recreation center for sure. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long road. Like I said, it's a blessing that you're still here. Let them know where people can reach your stuff, a website, your social media and stuff like that. Let them know.
So everything is on DIPpromotions.com.
Okay.
Stands for Dipped in Purple.
Okay.
That's in reference to royalty. So
yeah.
we all kings out here.
Purple is a royal color.
Yeah. So I'm just paying homage. But DIP Promotions is the website where you can catch everything. From the film to the music,
and
to
from
the
there
books.
They'll be able to find your social media as well.
Yeah, and my Instagram is DIP Thriller. Instead of ER is the A at the end.
Okay. Cool.
You got the book to show people?
It's in my bag. Yeah, it's in my
you
bag.
got it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we're gonna jump back into the show, and we were talking about the new wave of black men not cheating, and we was talking about that movement of black men moving away from being known cheaters, known dogs. Like, what are some of the reasons why black men are motivated to move away from the cheating? So let them see in your camera, your book, and let them know a little bit about it.
So,
Product of Determination by Phil Murphy.
Yes.
Okay, you're good. Okay. Yeah. So, give us 30 seconds of what the book is about.
So pretty much it's it's my journey in college, because this book is a trilogy. So this is Product of Determination, the college years. So it's just my journey in college, because growing up I wasn't doing well in school. I got kicked out of 7 schools before going to college. I didn't go to 5th grade, 6th grade, or 8th grade at all. So then from there, getting shot and stuff. So from there I didn't know where to go. Basketball is the only thing. Mm-hmm. And then I learned about myself. I learned about, education and the value of it. So then I understood that people needed some assistance, not just people in my story, similar stories, but just the college students in general. Yeah. So just to take the academics a little bit more serious. So I actually created 2 academic models. So one was a teaching assistant with a more interactive role, and the other one was a career counselor intervention. So that, the college journey highlights that I went from no academic foundation to having 30 people work for me as a junior and undergrad for academic programs that I created. Yeah. So it was just that turnaround. But then at the same time, while I was in college in that 4-year span, 9 of my friends were murdered. Wow. So I just wanted to actually show that that we can do something different. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny, not funny, but it's, what makes me think about what you said, right? LeBron James on his show, The Shop, we're going to talk about that later, but on the show The Shop, he was saying how it was six of them that were really tight when he was playing ball. He's like, 3 of us, me, of course, he's LeBron James, Romeo and the other dudes played ball overseas, and the other 3 are dead. Yeah. The other 3 got shot and stuff like that. And he's just like, we all come from the same place. but sometimes it's just these decisions. Like you made a left when you should have went right, and I made that right, and then you go down a good road, and the same people in your same circumstance made that wrong turn, and they're not even here to see the success. Imagine LeBron James being your best friend growing up, and then now you're not here to see. Like LeBron takes care of a lot of people, but it's unfortunate that sometimes making that wrong decision, especially as men of color in the communities that we come up with, is just one bad decision, being in a bad place at a bad time, and then opportunities turn crazy. Wow, that's deep though. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad to hear you were able to accomplish so many of these things. We'll get back to the topic, and then we'll talk more about the book again. So the question we was discussing when you were coming in is cheating in the black community something that the black men are trying to move away from. So what is some of your opinions on why, obviously it's wrong to cheat, but why you feel like black men are rushing to let me fall back from the cheating, in your perspective?
Well, I just think because we've been bamboozled for so long, the portray of what a man should be and things of that nature. And, they've been ripping us apart from our family for so long that we didn't understand how to even keep a family.
Yeah.
And even
that's true. That's true. Like, the mentality of, ripping the black man away from his home, making him not feel like, he has to raise his family, kind of making him displaced, devaluing himself, has allowed a lot of black men to not understand how serious that we have to be the foundation of our homes. So, like the song, Papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat was home. It made us not think about how important our kids need to see us from when they were small to they're older, right? Because repetition, you do what you see. And a lot of times these kids don't see a strong male role model. They just latch on to this seeing, whoever's popping on the block, whoever's the man on the block, I want to be the man on the block. Not knowing that a lot of times the man on the block has childish ways of himself. And it's a cycle of not having strong role models. So that's why, even though sometimes we take the cheating thing as just, a sexual kind of thing, it's a mentality as well. It's not having the mentality of sticking to what you need to. I mean, there's all levels of cheating, right? But that's why I feel like it's good that black men are adapting this attitude of black men don't cheat kind of thing, to say that, we used to slip up, or we were slipping, but now we're on a positive.
It's still a day-to-day struggle, right?
It is a day-to-day struggle, right? Because cheating, there's levels of cheating.
Because cheating doesn't just have to be physical. It could just also be, you could be emotional. You could just be conversation. Even texting is a form of cheating.
Yeah.
If you're talking to somebody just to.
I feel everyone cheat. Yeah, I feel married people cheat, single people cheat.
Listen,
not cheat, but flirt.
Cheating is on all kind of form. It's a day-to-day struggle. It's just, I think what Charlamagne and Little DeVoe was stating, basically, like, as you get older, you realize your mistakes, and it's time to make a change and just stay in that one direction with that young lady or for a man, whoever you're dating. So that's how I feel.
So the next question is, do you think cheating is a young man's game? What do you think?
I think for right now, with the internet, it's everybody's game.
Yeah.
I was just talking about social media.
Yeah, because that has a big, part of it for sure. I don't like you today, so I can go look and scroll down and see somebody I like today.
Especially Tinder, because people are on Tinder trying to get it popping, right? So it removes even the aspect of like really having to have a lot of game, right? Because a lot of times growing up, I always feel like in the aging myself, like in our generation before the internet was popping and stuff, like you had to have game to talk to a woman and impress. Now you can fool women with how popping you look on IG or social media. Then you on Tinder, you got sexy pictures, whatever. Person swipes right. You already know they coming through to get it popping. So it's like less of personalities you gotta have.
With social media, it makes everything a lot easier. You could take 20 different pics from even just friends that you know and post them on your joint. It makes it look like you have a good resume, and everybody's thrilled about it. So what he's saying is exactly right, 100%.
And to get back to the question, like, do you think cheating is a young man's game? You're right. It's everybody's game, but I also feel like when you're younger, you kind of just like, it's the excitement of being in the game. Yeah. It's just like, It's just like in Paid in Full when Mitch was in the car. It's like, yo, if I step out the game, are they still gonna love me? It's the thrill of the game. Yeah. It's the thrill of just like, yo, one conquer after another conquer and stuff like that. When you get older, it's just like, you know what? You kind of realize like, yo, every time that you break a woman's heart or you're in a situation where you're not doing right by a woman, that energy could come back to you.
Oh, it's gonna come back. It's not. It might. It's gonna come back.
Definitely, right?
Yeah.
And so then you chasing karma. You know what I'm saying? You trying to duck it. You trying to make sure that you know it doesn't come back to you. And it's like when you get older, you just get tired of that.
I don't even think it's just a young boy's game. I don't even think it's an age factor. I just think that cheating, it doesn't have an age to it, because I know some older men that just. Well, the older men, why do you think older men who be in their 60 now, they want to get a 20-year-old girl to make them feel good? It's not they don't respect their wife or the significant other. They just want somebody different.
Something fresh,
you know, something
new,
fresh and new.
A new experience.
But, you know, it's all how you relate to it.
I also think cheating sometimes on a different aspect is a communication thing, right? Because sometimes we struggle with communicating with the person we're with and like really getting our needs met, and then the easy way to get that itch scratches like I'm gonna go out there and cheat.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, you know, then you out there cheating, and then you're just like, man, like what am I doing out here? Like cheat, like you said, cheating is hard work, right?
It's because a lot of work.
You gotta fulfill the facade that everything's perfect at home, and then you gotta always make excuses on why you need to step out or stuff like that, you know. So it just becomes like an obligation that you just don't want to continue to fulfill.
Yeah, it's a hard life. I'm not saying it's my life.
Yeah. but, you know, it's funny, right? Even if it's not your life, we all have friends. We all see situations where you're just like, man. And there's sometimes, don't get it twisted, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes as men, you see your man or your friend doing your thing, and you just like, man, he got a lot of women. You kind of get caught up. But then you have a friend who's like the habitual cheater who cheats so much, and his life is a struggle, right? Because all he know is women, chasing women. But he don't take care of his business. His money's funny. His money's all over the place. He's taking care of girls and stuff like that. Everyone's in his pocket, and he don't have peace. I feel like if you're a habitual cheater, I mean, sometimes
who are you gonna trust with being a habitual cheater? You don't know who to put your all in.
Like the Big Poppy thing, you know, it's crazy to me. I'm just bugged out because in DR is crazy right now. Like,
he was a cop. The dude, there was a cop who put a hit out on him for $8,000. Yeah, it was
$8,000.
But $8,000 in DR go a long way.
It does. It does.
What I mean?
But that's why I always live by the philosophy: anybody could get it, right? You could be the toughest, even if I don't. Did you watch the show The Wire? All right, so The Wire, the biggest, baddest dude on the block was Omar, right?
Shotgun
dude, right? Dude, he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. But anyway, like all the drugs, everybody's scared of him. In the end, it was a little kid popped his head off.
Because you're still a human at the end of the day.
End of the day, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day.
So that's why to me it's just like to me, honestly, like, you know, I feel like anybody can't afford to cheat. But when I feel like look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had to pay his wifey like $200-300 million.
Kobe,
you know what I'm saying? Jordan gave his wife $300 million. My thing is like, it's too much out there to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, even dudes, like, you could be on top of the world one day, have a good job and everything, and you out there cheating, you get caught up, and now you paying child support out the ass.
Yeah.
And then while you doing that, you still got to try to live a life. So you taking care of 2 or 3, and it's not like your money grows. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So the last question on this topic is, the black father is something society seems to deem as endangered species. Do you think cheating gives us the image of black men? Do you think us falling away from cheating can change that narrative? Right, because they're saying like black men aren't in the home, black men and stuff like that. Black men's out there chasing fun, and you know, to me, it's a stereotype. But do you think us, you know, being more positive, trying to be more, you know, monogamous in relationships can change that image that society can see us as role models for black men and fathers?
100%, because the fact that you're not cheating or you don't have that thing on the side, now you could build a foundation within the home between your family, because a lot of times with cheating is you gotta have a certain amount of time. So the time that you was trying to even fix your home, you're like, man, I'm not dealing with this woman. I'm gonna go fuck this one right here, because she don't talk. She just listen to me and she know what it is. So it also,
it's an expiration date.
Yeah, it's an expiration date, and also when you're not doing that, your foundation in your home becomes better, because now you could look.
Like a drink? Sure.
Now you could look at
let's
your.
turn it up.
now you could look at your any problems that you have, and then and focus on that. So I definitely feel like when you're not cheating or you won't put yourself in a certain situation, it becomes the home, and then also just focus. You could become focused. Period. Yeah. When you juggling too much at one time, a lot of things don't come good out of it. Yeah.
And don't get it twisted. Like, everyone goes through unhappy periods. So I'm not sitting there condoning, cheating. Like, oh, I'm perfect, and what's the name? Like, it can't happen and stuff like that. Yeah. But I just feel like, on a mass level, to hear that black men are like, yo, I'm trying to be faithful, I'm trying to do right by my woman, is learning, right? And a lot of times we also got to learn from other people's mistakes. Yeah. Like, even Jay-Z almost lost Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
A couple times.
And this, go ahead.
Oh, well, because I think you hit it right on the head with the learning, because it helps us mature with trying to even be monogamous, because conflict resolution is the main issue, right? Mm-hmm. People don't want to take the time to, resolve the conflict, because it's stressful, and you got to go deep inside to figure out the root of the issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people are, they're lazy for the most part. It's a gratification, so it's like and go over here, right? Yeah. But it helps us mature by even digging deep to figure out the root, and then try to just grow from that part. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Take it one step further from what you just said. As black men, we don't learn to deal with our emotions
at all,
right? We're always taught that we gotta be these ultimate predators and protectors and alpha males. So it's just like, you can't let somebody disrespect you. So you take it to these next levels. You don't have conversations with people and stuff like that. Oh, you the man when you have so many women and stuff like that. Not knowing this how empty some of these people feel.
Filling a void. You just filling a void.
And you just feel like one conquer after another. I'm the man. But it's just like, it's something beautiful to build with someone and have emotions and like feel a connection with someone. And I just feel like we're not taught that enough. And then, like we said, it's the examples. When we don't see that in our homes, we don't know that it's something to. That's why, even though. And I'm going side note, even though Cosby turned out to be a predator and do crazy shit like that, the Cosby Show image, I always grew up saying I want to be like Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show. Yeah. I want to have a woman who's a professional like I am. Mm-hmm. I want us to have kids and stuff like we need to see those things. And a lot of times when we stop having those positive images, we just mimic what we see in our community.
That's a fact.
Yeah, no, that's a fact all the way.
So that was a little thick. We're gonna go to a little lighter subject, and the topic is, I'm always talking about it, and it's thought season, right? Thought season to me is a big deal, like the summertime thought season and stuff like that. But then I started to, as much as I make a joke about the thought season, it's just us being comfortable. Like, even though I joke and say thought season coming, to me, thoughting is just a mentality, right? Just like, you out here trying to live your best life. Maybe you might be, not monogamous.
Well, if you're single, it's
a good,
it's
right?
your time to shine.
But when I say, what I say is just living your best life out there, trying to attract people and stuff like that. And it's lighthearted, but then it's just also less like, breaking down like who's really a thought. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's a double standard that we carry, right? Like, Cliff's the man if he's out here taking down mad joints. But at the same time, if a woman's out there taking down mad dudes, oh, she a thought, she's a hoe and stuff like that. Yeah. So I wanted to have the conversation of clarification, like, is she really a thought or is she just having fun, right? Because a lot of times we perpetuate double standards, right? Mm-hmm. So the first question is, I joke a lot about thought season, but is it unfair to label women thoughts if they just like to get down and have fun? Right, because if a woman respects herself and she's not out here being messy and mixy and setting dudes up and stuff like that, like if she just like to have a good time like you, is she really a thought?
I think it's a level to thoughting too, right? Because you know, as a younger person, you don't really understand that the fact that she's trying to figure it out, and she's just trying to have a good time. Yeah. Me as somebody who's in their 30s, I understand, like, if she just telling me, oh, you know, I'm just you know, trying to figure things out, I'm having fun, I can understand that. She might not be a thot, she just might just try to be figuring things out. But automatic as somebody who's younger, automatic, oh, she a slut, she a hoe. So when a guy's doing it, he's the man. When a woman's doing it, it becomes negative. But as you get older and mature, you see that, you know, she's just having a good time. Yeah. You know?
To me, it's crazy, right? Because being promiscuous, it's a no-no for a woman to be promiscuous. Yeah. And it's expected for a man to be promiscuous. But my thing about it is mentality. As men, if we're comfortable, like, yes, it's okay for a man to be promiscuous and stuff like that. Who's the man being promiscuous with? It's other women, right? Yeah. So it's just like, how do we not expect women to, like, be able to openly enjoy sex the way you openly enjoy sex and stuff when we're the ones having it with them?
Yeah, you know, definitely relieving that stress. You feel me? But at the same time, you know, with dudes too, they don't understand their worth. This is the funny part. Yeah. Because, like, you a king, right? Yeah. And you just playing your seat in any
and everything, you know?
You know, you got to have some respect for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, understand, like, because now we understand, like, you might be a single father, all that, single moms and all that. Yeah. So it's like, you know, just preparing yourself. You know, you want to release some stress for sure. Yeah. But definitely building those connections.
Exactly. Yeah. And like you said, having respect for yourself. My thing about it is I don't have any children, right? But the most special thing you can do with anybody in this world is create a whole nother life with them. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like people are out here just like, you know what, just on the sake of enjoying themselves, not really taking the magnitude of what their actions can be.
That's a special thing when you really do conceive or even take it there. Because if I don't know, you know, I've been on both sides. I've been, you know, crazy out there, and I've been, you know, chilling, trying to, you know. So it's, to me, it feels way better when you're trying to build. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And it's a way better, you know, feelings, emotions, and all of that's involved. It's way more lit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then even you see, like, married couples and things like that, they start to look like the same person. Y'all ever notice that?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They really become that one, right? Yeah. That one. So that's lit. Yeah. You really, you know what I'm saying?
It's teamwork. Like I said, like, it's so much out there. It's so much craziness out there and stuff like that. Like, if you can build that bond with someone and move that way, it's better, it's more peace, right? Because I always tell people, like, yo, it's always going to be something out there that seems better than your situation, right? But at the same time, you don't know what that entails. You don't know what that's going to take. You don't know what kind of risk that is, you know? So the next question on this topic is, I know men could be thots, but most of the time we call them players. In 2019, is this double standard still fair? Like, for instance, Rihanna is known to, like, break men's hearts and stuff like that, and they kind of men. And then, you know, because she's popping, people don't say it out loud, but a lot of times people kind of joke and say, oh, Rihanna's kind of a thot. But then Drake and Chris Brown, same thing in the world. Yeah, had different women, different lovers and stuff like that. And I've never really heard someone really go hard at Chris Brown being a hoe or Drake being a hoe. So in 2019, is like, can we still really believe in that double standard? Like, why are we still caveman about that?
The pressure on.
We like this guy, so no wrong answers here. You just be yourself.
Opinion. You know, the double standard is there for sure. The double standard is there for sure. At the same time, because I'm still a dude, so I rather, you know, it's cooler for the dude to have more shorties, but there are more women than men in this world.
But
so
it's experiences, right? So my thing about it is, like, because it's, to me, it's keep that same energy. If you want to have a lot of experiences and have the buffet of life, I want to have an Asian, I want to have black, Indian, white, whatever.
But concubines.
But my thing about it is, you gotta understand. At the same token, a woman could also want to have that same kind of sampling stuff. Like, that's why I always say, like, you know, when you younger, you always worry like, damn, is my girl a hoe? Is my girl a hoe and stuff like that? Because we're stuck in the mentality that like, yo, experiences equals negativity. Like only I can have experience. She can't have that experience. But then when you realize that you settle down with someone who don't have no experience, they're whack. Or if you settle with someone who has no experience and stuff like that, you kind of feel like they're closed-minded, and then now you have to worry about them like, yo, I didn't have no experiences. Now I need to go figure other things out.
Yeah. You want.
So what about you, Cliff? That double standard in 2019 is like, why we still have it? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think it's just society is just placed as, men are gonna be considered a certain aspect of what they should be doing. Like a man fucking multiple women is considered a man. A woman is doing that is like, damn, she don't have no respect for herself. So society automatically agrees with like the macho-ness of the situation,
Yeah.
So when I'm doing it, it's like, damn, yo, Cliff is fucking everything that that's good. When a woman's doing it, he's like,
it's gross.
Like, what's going
sad, right?
It's like, what's going on with herself? Like,
a man,
seriously,
as a
like,
man, we'll sit there. I'll give you a pound. Like, yo,
just-
Cliff, you hit that?
it's just-
And then I find a woman do it. I'm like, she don't have no respect for herself.
It's like
It's crazy,
it's
though.
like,
It is
but I
trippy, though, it is.
learned as I got older the macho-ness and the whole situation. Like, it's even like when you're trying to get serious with a woman, right? And you ask her her number. Automatic. It really shouldn't matter, because if you got to know that person and you really care about that person, even it sounds crazy. Even if she has a lot of bodies, what you call it, you can look past it because you're adult. You start to realize, you know what, everybody got a pass.
Yeah, got bodies too.
But when you're younger, you like, damn, you got 14.
But
You got 14? So it's like the macho-ness of it still. Society makes it seem like it being macho, it's a good thing of sleeping with a lot of women and doing this. And then, a woman's supposed to stay in a certain place and have a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
My problem is we gotta, like, the standards we have for ourselves, we gotta have the same standards for the women that we date with. If we want our partners to be our partners and 50-50 and stuff like that, we gotta understand that, people have passed. The only I mean, I'm not out here looking. The only thing I guess, caveman kind of mentality is like, you couldn't have smashed my homies. That's the only thing I'm worried about, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not mature enough to be like, my shorty's somebody that Phil smashed, and every time Phil see me, he laugh at shorty.
Yeah,
it's gonna create an animosity between us,
yeah,
right?
no,
and I don't need that. I don't need that
it's
kind of negativity in my life.
It's like the best man when
Exactly. And he's having the flashbacks in his head.
when we read the book, and then he talk about Tay Diggs giving the
Kiss
forehead
on the
kiss,
forehead and something.
and then Morris just like
almost threw him out the window.
and they
Right?
showed that Morris just
Yeah, no, that's tough.
he was getting back
That-
shots from.
Yeah, I think that might be the only toughest part. But having a past, all right, you do your, because first of all, girls is lit. Girls is lit. They in every group.
I always tell
group,
people
they are
that
lit.
penis is way cheaper than vagina, right?
That's
So and I say that to say this, like, vagina. Vagina is more of a commodity than the penis is, right? So it's usually, if you take a popping female and a popping dude, the popping dude inbox probably looks crazy. That popping female inbox is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, because you got all kind of people in there, from crazy people to people that she might actually dig.
Yeah.
So,
All
you know
that,
what I'm saying?
all that.
But
So-
it's lit, because girls is everywhere. Like, they know everybody.
Exactly.
Especially if they
So
lit.
that's why to me, like, the double standard of expecting that, you out here, especially after we reach a certain age, like, if you in your 30s and you dating a woman, you think she was in a cave for the last 30 years?
As long as you're not nailing the bro.
Like
As long as you're not nailing the bro.
I
You know what I'm
said,
saying?
I think the macho-ness of it plays the whole situation, because
Yeah.
So,
But my wife is not going to be nailing my bro.
exactly. So the last question on the subject is:
That's a
do you
fact.
care to know about your significant other's thought stage prior to you or not?
It's,
Do you need a book report
No,
or a summary or whole facts?
I need a book report or a whole facts. If she did mess with the homie, like we saying, the homie, or like even relatives or whatever, somebody that's dear close to me, right?
Yeah.
But if it's just a situation where you know, she played the field. Cause I see it all the time. I seen dudes wife up girls that, you know, they got a lot of bodies, but when a young man, I looked at it, I'm like, damn, this dude, he wifed her, shorty done fucked a lot of the homies. Yeah. But now, as an older person and somebody in my 30s, I'm like, I could see it. She could just be genuine good girl. She was having fun at the time. Yeah. But you just gotta know how to separate the two. It's all about growing. But you cannot fuck the homies. Yeah, the homies. That's where the line is drawn. That's where it crosses. That's where it crosses. Yeah, if it's not the homies or family, like immediate family, the family is off limits too. But the homies, you can't fuck the homies. Yeah. Nah, that's what I think.
What do you think? Do you need to know your wife's? Because
I don't need to know no history books on none of that. Because that might make me feel some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I don't want to know where you even was doing it at. You feel me? Because I don't want to have images. I just want to feel like it's just me and you. You feel me?
Exactly. Okay. And that's all that matters. My thing is, if when we get down, we have a good time, we clean, having fun and stuff like that. I can't sit there and stress myself worrying about other things. But it can't just blend into our situations. Like, don't not tell me you smashed the homie and had me looking crazy out here.
Well, we gonna know off the rip. You feel me? Because my bros is gonna put me on game. Mm-hmm. Well, they better put me on game if I'm around some shorty and that they already had relations with. You feel me? Yeah. But I feel, that's it.
So let me further ask the question: what if? Like, we're in our 30s and stuff like what if this is just like, yo, I didn't even know that was your bro. I smashed him in 9th grade and we're grown people now. Is that
that's something, listen. In 9th grade, people, because you can say whatever you want, whatever. You ain't a great fuck in 9th grade. Because most of the time, but listen, no. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. Because listen, if my man, I'm gonna explain why. It sounds kind of crazy. No, but go ahead. In 9th grade, you not the best fucker, right? Okay. Because unless unless you started porn at 6th grade or whatever.
So because he didn't DDT her back in the day, he didn't know all the wrestling moves. I'm gonna
explain why, right? Okay. So in 9th grade, I'm gonna look at it like, oh shit happens. You know what I'm saying? But if my man fucked her at 21, 22. Those because
you know how to power drive now, so now it meant more.
Those are the Jordan years. Those are the Jordan years. You see what I'm saying? Those are the Jordan years. You know what I'm saying? I can't. The Jordan years, it's a different situation.
So what about you? What do you think?
Because it's more so on a relationship. Because if you nailing something in 9th grade, like I ain't even been in New York. Like after since college, since I just came back to New York a couple months ago, so I ain't even been in New York for like the last 12 years. You feel me? So it's like it's gonna be brand new. These shorties, you feel me? Yeah. So if 9th grade, I ain't worried about no 9th grade, but I don't really think.
9th grade is still puppy love, but a grown man, I can't do it because it's different.
Yeah, because even, it's more relational, you feel me? Like, because if you nailing something on the first night, like some one-night stand kind of thing, like, does that even count as well?
It doesn't, but at the same time, if that's my bro, like my bro, and then, he knows you intimately like that, to me it's tough. It's tough. And especially if he told me, oh, yeah, I met her in a club, I smashed real quick, but then nothing ever happened to me. Now I'm just like, yo.
She'll go harder. She go live.
But you got to look at it like this aspect too, right? Because everybody got a past, right, in this situation. But if my man fucked her as an adult, it's going to be hard for me. Because the process of my brain is going to process like, damn, yo, like, cause you know your man. Yeah. So now you starting to think about shit that that you and him might have done in the past too, like some crazy shit. So now your brain, as a kid, you like, I could look past it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it happened all the time. Yeah. Your man might have been dating a girl freshman year while y'all was a freshman at whatever school, whatever too, and then you rekindle with her as an adult. Yeah. So now you're gonna say, yo, my man, she was doing stuff with my man in 9th grade, whatever too. But as an adult, it's different.
Yeah.
So
Right, cool.
I think the age factor plays.
So now we're
that.
gonna move on to the last topic of the show. It's a little more serious. It's called Our Story, right? So we was talking about the way that they see us, the Netflix special by Ava DuVernay, talking about the Central Park 5. But since the reason why I want to revisit it, because we talked about it last week, I want to revisit it. Like it's since it's premiered, it's been the #1 stream show on Netflix. And you know how popping Netflix whole catalog
I
is.
still haven't seen it, but I'm
right?
probably gonna
But
check
it's
it
been
out.
the #1 show since like for a couple of weeks now. But it made me think of just like, you know what, Our Story. We knew about the Central Park 5
Back in the gap.
but we had weird details. We didn't have full details. We knew certain things and stuff like that. We knew that they tried to destroy these men's lives, and then when the truth came out, it wasn't, we're sorry. It was just like, okay, they got a settlement to the side. But then now we got to see the details and the way the story is told from them, and people are paying attention. It made me say, you know what? We're finally at a point in time in society where they're ready to hear our story. Mm-hmm. They're ready to take us seriously. They're ready to be outraged by what's been going on to us for a long time. So the first sub-question is, when they see us being the most streamed show on Netflix since it's been out, does it mean that they're ready to hear our side of the story on a lot of situations that we swept under the rug or just how we're treated? Now I feel like, injustice and discrimination is still going to happen, but now I feel like more as a society, we're starting to see sympathy because we're starting to be able to really see it from another perspective. So do you think they're ready to more hear our side of the story and believe in the certain things that we go through?
Well, they ain't got no choice, because now we actually putting ourselves in a position where we're able to back ourselves financially. Everything is easily accessible from cameras and things like that, to where we can tell our story regardless if they don't want to hear it or not. Yeah. So now we have prominent black people in the position that are actually not caring about conforming. They just want to get to the bottom line, like, this is what's really going on out here, and we're going to show it so you can actually see the raw and not the filtered or, under the rug kind of version. Yeah. So
go ahead.
To piggyback what Phil's saying, right, is they can't blackball us because now we got the platform and we got the money.
You said the key word.
They can't blackball. They can't do the platform, right? We do have the platform and the money, which is huge, right? A lot of the times, as a black man, I got to act a certain way in Hollywood. I got to do certain things, whatever, too. But now we got people in positions. We got rappers who's billionaires now. Yeah. So it's like, I don't have to. I really don't have to go to Kiss Your Feet to get this movie done. I could team up with 2-3 people and we could get this done on a major platform. Mm-hmm. So now we got the platform, and then we got assets. So now, even though if they don't want to hear us, they can't blackball us anymore because money runs everything, right?
I also think another thing, we're in a season of cancel culture where it's just like, people aren't just gonna sit there and stand for being disrespected,
100%,
sweeping it under the rug. Even with women, like women have been sexually harassed since day one, and they're still being treated differently. To be honest with you, it even hurts me to even think about asking my sister or my moms about the time they were sexually harassed, because I know there's been something uncomfortable happen. But nowadays I feel like we have the power, we have the platform, we have the voice, where it's just like we can call people out on their BS. And people, once it start affecting people's money and bottom lines, people get canceled. Just like the district attorney on in that situation. She had books out. Her book stopped selling. She was teaching law school in Columbia. They got rid of her and stuff like that. Like, there's repercussions for their action. And I feel like one time or another, society has known how black people have been treated badly. But now that we're able to put it in their face, look at this, document it, and let them see the details. Like, listen, you got to sit through and see this kind of thing. It's going to make things better going forward, I believe.
100%.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's why we need to continue to create and continue to not conform, because we created this stuff, and people will just use it against us, like how they did in the past. Mm-hmm. So it's like, as we continue to create, it's just going to open the room for more people to tell their story and show that they was able to get through it. You feel me?
And that's another beautiful thing that you said, right? As we create, we give people the courage to come out and create their next story, or tell their story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that's why, another reason why I feel we're in a powerful time and age, because all it takes is one person to stand up. That's why the Me Too movement was so important, right? Because the fear of being blackballed, women would just, you know what, this is part of the game. Dude trying to sleep with you, you just got to navigate it through and stuff like that. But once one woman was just like, no, I'm not going for it, it empowered other women to speak up about it. And I just feel like now it's the same thing with us being discriminated against, or black people getting, unfair deals. When we step up, we protest, we make a situation be known to the masses.
Yeah.
We got to make people uncomfortable. And I feel like we're in a generation where we can make people uncomfortable, and not, like you said, now that we have resources, we don't have to worry about like, man, how am I going to find a job? How am I going to find these kind of things? Once you have the opportunity, the platform, the resources, and we pull together.
Yeah.
So the next question is, do you feel we need to make efforts to control the narrative and on how our people are seen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was talking to an officer friend of mine, right? And I was telling him, like, what bothers us the most is that something happens to Clifford, they're going to say, oh, well, maybe Clifford, look in Clifford's background and say, oh, Clifford one time got a ticket for jumping the train. Like, that don't mean nothing. Why did I have to? Then I asked him, and he's just like, you know what? Who controls the media? And I was just like, mostly predominant white people. There's just like, they sell the stories that sounds good to them. So if they say that Clifford's a college graduate, married dude, has a good job, to them it's just like people are going to be like, oh man, it's outrage. But if they say Clifford got arrested before, then it's easier to quiet down. That's why they said also the past, when the lone wolf white kids who shoot people up and stuff like that. Sometimes these kids are crazy and stuff like that, but they don't snap till then. So when you look at their background, they've never been arrested. They don't have no incidents and stuff like that. Yeah. It's easy to paint them.
Or documented. Because they might have went crazy, but it just wasn't documented.
Yeah. So I say that to say this. It's the control in the stories. It's us being able to tell our stories. The fact that we let other people tell our stories, we let them paint the picture that they want. So that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's important that we start creating narratives and creating the pictures that we need to have?
That's the whole point of me writing books, doing films, making music. Because I'm going to tell my story, even in the artwork. I'm gonna tell my story. Nobody gonna tell it for me. I don't even care if it's a good version either. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because who's gonna tell it better than myself?
Exactly.
I went through these steps. You feel me? Everybody else just from the outside looking in. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you the real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why, to be honest with you, like, I focus so much on positive and promoting black culture, because there's so much more to than what the world see of us, right? Yeah, the world doesn't know how successful. Like, when you start learning black history, you find out so many things that we created,
everything,
but we don't benefit from it.
Yeah.
But is this that society, we've been trained so long to been stuck in a box where we're afraid of certain things to even step up. Right, so it's like, what's the reason why? Let's think about it. What's the reason why none of us have our money in black banks right now?
Well, I have my savings in a black bank.
You just probably did it recently.
No, 2 years for 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. I give you that, because you're like, I don't know if this dude's gonna run off with the plug, right? It's easy. No, it's easy to go to Chase or Citibank or something standard, because society said this is how we got to do it, right?
Willie Lynch letters, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Society said this is how we got to do it, but now it's a time where we have to stick together and rise above it and just take a chance on ourselves. That's what's going on with everything now. Like, we got enough resources, the Oprah, the Tyler Perrys, certain people could reach out to it. You ain't got to go this step. And now with social media, you don't really need anybody. You could literally tell your own story on social media, right? Yeah. So everything is everybody's free now. Yeah. Before it was like, oh, do this. I can't do this. I can't do that.
You kind of needed somebody's permission or somebody's favor.
It's still to this day, you act a certain way because you feel like, oh, it's not going to get out there if I do it this way. You understand? Yeah. Now it's more freedom just in general.
Yeah, my mother always tries to correct the way I speak because I always say, you feel me at the end of my statements.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how I talk. It doesn't mean I'm, any less intelligent, or intellectual because I might say you feel me or not mean at the end of my speech. Like, I created academic models. I taught teachers how to teach.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can do that and still say you feel me at the end, that means people should be comfortable enough in their own skin to just be them.
You said something, conformity, right? Like, we subscribe to a society of culture conform, and then what's been the quote-unquote master or main standard? It's been white culture, English culture, and so if we don't subscribe to that culture, then we're not considered intelligent.
And we taught them. So it's like, why are we trying to acculturate? And acculturate, nothing's wrong with acculturating because that means you appreciate the differences and want to, embrace them. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. But at the same time, me trying to be like you is a dub. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Because you bring something to the table, which is dope, but I'm going to bring something to the table as well. So we can only just bring it together, and that's how we're going to do it. Like,
so the last question of the show was, LeBron with the shop and athletes using their platform more and more, how do you see the future of the black image being shaped, right? Because a lot of athletes were tired of the media taking what they're saying, screwing it up and making them look like bad guys and stuff like that. So they started doing their own shows, their own websites, their own series where it's like, yo, you hear it from my mouth how I feel about it. So do you feel like that's going to change the future on how people see us now that we're controlling the way we put our messages out? What do you think? You can answer that.
Yeah, well, it's just following, saying the same thing. We going to be able to tell our story. Y'all ain't gonna tell it for us, you feel me? Like, we doing our thing. You want to see how it was done? Well, we're gonna show you and we're gonna explain it to you. And that's that.
100%. I mean, I just feel like with social media and the platform that we able to just express ourselves now with no backlash, right? Yeah. Before you say certain things and then they spin it and stuff. Even with the news, right? Like you said, I might have graduated college, got a good job, married and all this, whatever, too. But they might take a picture 4 years ago when I was wearing 4 chains or whatever. Dude,
that's me now. I got a master's degree. I work in an investment bank. So but I still on the weekend when it's my time, I want to be myself.
Even the bro Phil, like even when he's talking about, he got shot into a situation, whatever, too. He been in situations. They're not gonna talk about all the positive things. You got your book or whatever. They're gonna talk about when you got in trouble with the situation. That's how the news portray it.
That's how the neighborhood portray it.
That's how the neighborhood portray it. So it's right now the platform that we got the ability to express and then shop yourself around. So which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to say, what's so beautiful about it? Just think about it. Michael Jordan. We grew up watching Michael Jordan, but we didn't know anything about Michael Jordan. We knew Michael Jordan was a dope-ass basketball player, and that's it. Then you hear certain rumors that he gambled and stuff like that, but whatever. But LeBron, I feel like I know LeBron. Right. I get to see him and his kids do Taco Tuesday crazy commercials.
That was dope. That was dope.
And then, LeBron has a show where he's talking about how he feels like that. No, I'm not going to just shut up and dribble. We're at a time where it's just like, we really get to see the true character of people and get empowered by that. And like I said, role models, we get to see people being themselves and having their own voice and allowing us to be like, you know what? I may not be nice like LeBron, but LeBron's able to use his voice. I can use my voice in the same kind of way. And that's what I'm most excited about, the future of the black image, because if we take it away from the news just saying that we got shot because we was doing this, we was doing that other, but we get to portray our stories in positive lights and what we're able to accomplish, then we could. I don't care about changing the narrative because I don't care what other people feel about us, but I want us to be presented in a way that, we can be proud of ourselves and continue to build.
Yeah, they got to respect it.
Because if all we hear is read the history that they want to tell us about ourselves, we won't have no kind of pride. Yeah. But if we start telling the stories where we can have pride about those stories and be like, wow, we did that, then we're able to grow that way, right? Yeah. Because if you... It wasn't until I was older that I realized that Christopher Columbus was a bad dude. Because what I learned in school, he was a great dude who discovered America.
Yeah.
How you discover a place that had a whole bunch of people already living there?
Yeah, that's a fact. And we knew that, but we still...
Because the way they painted for it. But now we're able to do research.
Even like they say, your boy Jesus had hair like wool, feet like bronze.
But then he's always been blonde hair, blue eyes.
You feel me? And we just accept it because we just want to after a while. You feel me? But
programmed
like I said, that Willie Lynch letters, man.
Yeah. All right, so that's the end of the show. It's a very good show, very good conversation. Thanks, Phil Murphy, for coming through and doing your thing.
Thank you.
Let them know exactly where they can find you again, so that they can reach out for yourself.
So, everything from films, books, music. Even I'm gonna be starting to post up artwork on there. But DIPpromotions.com have a private art show coming up the 29th. Gonna go and
Where is it gonna be at? Where is it going to be at?
Private art show, man.
Oh, okay.
So you on DIPpromotions.com.
That's
you
what
follow.
I find.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah,
now I always try to get my guests to promote and have people come to them, but they got to go to the website to find out.
Yeah, like
say the website again so to compare it.
DIPpromotions.com, and it's lit. You got all kind of stuff on there.
Okay.
And it was a movement started because I know one of your childhood friends.
Tyshawn, yeah, because he said, yo, bro, we DIP. And I'm like, all right. And he was like, oh, we're going to get the tattoo on our wrist, too, the loyalty tat. All right. Okay. And then from there, but I knew it was bigger than at that time. I knew it was bigger purpose, and then I really
foresaw that it would have a bigger effect than just being cool and showing loyalty to each other. It could be a movement or something bigger.
Because we the 12. There's 12 of us. We the 12.
Okay.
So,
that's dope.
So it's deep.
Cool.
So no, I just want to the thing about this podcast is a little bit different from everybody else, and I'm not gonna hold over this. You gotta reach out to people, right? Me and Phil, we played high school basketball. We went to prep school together. I ain't see Phil in a long time. It's like 2004. It's 2019. So we played high school basketball, prep school. We went to prep school together and stuff. So. The thing about this, the old thing about podcast is about reaching out and expanding. We talking about helping each other as black people. Like, Phil got something going, we had something going, and then I reach out. We got to reach out and help each other, and then just that's how we're gonna motivate, and that's how we're gonna make it together, right? It's no more just hating on each other and doing this whatever.
Competing.
We gotta work together. Yeah. So shout out for Phil for coming on and promoting his book and everything. I literally haven't seen him since prep school. That's 2004. So it's 15 years when we was playing basketball. But you got a good movement going on.
Of social media. It keeps us connected. We find out people we know, and then we find out they got stuff going on, and just like let's build together. So. Shout out to everybody continue to support us. Once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Continue to be the example for the young people to follow, right? Because if you want a black man to learn to be a positive black man, he needs to see positive black men around him. If you want a boy to grow up to be a king, he has to see kings around him. You know what I'm saying? So like always, I always tell people, go out there and chase, your legacy over your liabilities, and just do things that make you uncomfortable so you could grow from them. And we out. Peace.
Peace.
Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo.